Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into some of the world's most puzzling places
Yeah, like those spots on the map
that make you question
that make you go, wait a minute.
everything you thought you knew about maps, legends.
And maybe even like reality itself.
We're talking Phantom Islands, cursed villages, bottomless pits.
The kind of mysteries that make you want to
Grab a compass.
yeah, grab your sense of adventure.
And just go.
Let's do it.
All right, so picture this. You're sailing the high seas, relying on these centuries-old maps.
Right, like the old school ones.
And suddenly, an island that was supposed to be right there is just gone.
Poof.
That was the reality for sailors who searched for Sandy Island.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this.
This landmass appeared on maps for over a century before it vanished into thin air.
Or I guess open water in this case.
Right, exactly. Open water.
Wild.
And this wasn't just like a little speck on a treasure map, right?
Right.
This was a sizable island charted between Australia and New Caledonia.
That's a decent chunk of land to just disappear.
I know. It even showed up on Google Earth.
No way.
Until as recently as 2012.
You're kidding?
What's so remarkable about Sandy Island is that its disappearance
Okay. Yeah.
can't be attributed to just rising sea levels or any other easily explainable phenomenon.
Like, what's the deal with that?
It suggests that even in our age of satellite imagery and advanced mapping technology,
We're still finding out new things, basically.
yeah, we can still be tricked by phantom islands.
It makes you wonder how much we really know.
Right. It's a good thing we have GPS now.
Seriously. Can you imagine navigating by the stars these days?
I know, right? Talk about anxiety-inducing.
But hey, maybe that's part of the adventure.
True. But the story of Sandy Island gets even more intriguing when you consider the potential explanations for why it was on those maps in the first place.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking about everything from simple human error to like the possibility of underwater volcanoes creating temporary land masses that then erode away.
So it could have been real at some point.
Exactly. It's like trying to solve a puzzle where half the pieces are missing.
And the other half might be from a different puzzle.
And that's where the real mystery lies, in the space between what we can observe and what we can only speculate about.
It's like our brains want answers. But sometimes we have to be okay with a little mystery.
It forces us to confront the limits of our knowledge.
And the possibility that some mysteries might never be fully solved.
Which, let's be honest, is what makes these stories so captivating.
Totally. I mean, who doesn't love a good unsolved mystery?
Right, okay. But while the case of Sandy Island might make you want to double-check your next vacation destination.
Just to make sure it's actually there.
Exactly. Our next stop takes us from the vastness of the ocean to the misty shores of Ireland.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Where legends whisper of an even more elusive island.
Oh, really?
One that appears and disappears with the rhythm of the sea. Hy Brasil.
Hy Brasil, that's a new one for me.
Now, Hy Brasil is a place straight out of folklore.
So we're talking mythical creatures and hidden cities and all that.
Oh, you know, it's said to be shrouded in mist, visible for only a single day every 7 years.
Every 7 years. Talk about limited time offer.
And home to everything from mystical beings to like an advanced civilization hidden from the world.
That's quite the range.
Right. It's like the Atlantis of Ireland.
Okay. I'm getting some serious Atlantis vibes.
But what makes Hy Brasil different from Sandy Island is that it's never been definitively proven to exist on any map.
So it's more of a legend than a cartographical error.
Exactly. More myth than map.
But that hasn't stopped people from searching for it.
Of course not. It's that allure of the unknown that keeps us searching, right?
It's that hope that maybe, just maybe, there's something more out there.
And that speaks to the power of these stories, how they can ignite our imaginations and inspire a sense of wonder about the world.
Even without concrete evidence, the legend of Hy Brasil continues to capture the hearts and minds of those who believe in the possibility of magic and mystery hidden just beyond the horizon.
Absolutely. It's that sense of wonder that keeps us exploring. Okay, but from phantom islands that may or may not exist.
Right. Are they real or are they not?
Let's shift our focus to a place that's very much real.
Okay, so back to reality for a bit.
And very much shrouded in eerie tales.
Oh, this sounds intriguing.
We're talking about Bhangarh Village in India.
Bhangarh Village. Let me see if I can pull that up.
A place where the line between history and hauntings blurs in a way that's both fascinating and a little bit frightening.
I'm always up for a good ghost story.
This is a village frozen in time, abandoned and eerily silent, with the Indian government taking the unusual step of declaring it officially haunted.
Wait, they actually did that? Officially?
Government placed warning signs prohibiting entry after sunset.
Now that's got to send chills down your spine.
It's like choosing between a history book and a ghost story,
Right.
and realizing they might just be telling different versions of the same event.
It's all about perspective, right?
Exactly. But from a village frozen in a curse, let's journey to a place that some say might as well be a doorway to another dimension, Mel's Hole.
Mill's Hole. What's that?
This is one of those stories that starts simple,
Okay.
a hole in the ground, nothing special.
Right.
But then it takes a hard left turn into the Twilight Zone.
Oh, boy.
We're talking about a seemingly bottomless pit tucked away in the forests of Washington state.
Bottomless. Come on now.
That's what they say.
So how do they know it's bottomless?
That's the thing. No one knows how deep it really goes.
They're kidding.
And the stories about Mel's Hole
Okay.
are the kind that make you wonder if someone spiked the local water supply with imagination juice.
Like what kind of stories?
We're talking reports of bizarre gravitational anomalies, strange lights and sounds emanating from the pit, and even tales of objects being lowered into the hole only to vanish completely.
Hold on. Are we talking like people's socks going missing in the dryer or like something a little more substantial?
I think it's safe to say we're talking more than just a lost sock here.
So like cars disappearing into thin air.
Maybe not cars, but let's just say the stories tend to get pretty wild.
It's like something out of an X-Files episode.
Right. What's interesting is how these stories,
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of them.
oh yeah, while often dismissed as folklore or tall tales, really tap into some of humanity's oldest fears and fascinations.
Like what?
The idea of bottomless abysses, gateways to other worlds' forces beyond our understanding lurking just beneath the surface of our reality.
So Mel's Hole is basically a giant metaphor for everything we don't know about the universe.
And just like with Bhangarh Village, it's not just the physical place itself, but the stories surrounding it that make Mel's Hole so intriguing.
So we're talking about a place that's become a legend in its own right.
These narratives, they're like a cultural Rorschach test.
How so?
They reveal as much about our fears and anxieties as they do about the places themselves.
We see what we want to see, or maybe what we're afraid to see.
Precisely. They make us question what we're willing to believe, even when faced with a lack of concrete evidence.
Yeah. Which I guess is part of what makes these places so fascinating.
It's that sense of mystery that keeps us coming back for more. But speaking of strange occurrences in seemingly ordinary places, let's journey across continents to a bridge in Scotland that has left even the most seasoned dog whisperers scratching their heads. Overtown Bridge.
Overtown Bridge. Oh, yeah, I've heard of this one. Isn't this the bridge that allegedly compels dogs to leap to their deaths?
You're right, it is a rather grim subject. Over the years, there have been hundreds of reported cases of dogs, often specific breeds, suddenly leaping from Overtown Bridge, often with fatal consequences.
We just jump.
Why? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
So what are we thinking here? Bad architecture.
Well, some researchers believe it could be the scent of mink, which inhabit the area below the bridge.
Mink? Really?
Apparently, their scent can trigger a primal hunting instinct in dogs, causing them to leap over the side in pursuit.
So they're not jumping because they're sad or anything. They're just trying to catch a mink.
That's one theory. Others suggest that the bridge's design, combined with the surrounding landscape, might create a sort of auditory illusion for dogs, masking the sound of the drop below.
An auditory illusion. Interesting.
But of course, as with any good mystery, there are always those who lean towards the paranormal.
Oh, yeah, bet. Let me guess. Ghosts.
Local legends refer to Overtown Bridge as a thin place.
A thin place. What's that?
It's a location where the veil between this world and the next is said to be thin, allowing spirits to cross over.
So basically a paranormal hotspot.
Some even believe that the bridge is haunted by the spirit of the White Lady of Overtown, a grieving widow who is said to roam the grounds.
A grieving widow haunting a bridge. That's a new one.
Hey, you know what they say? Truth is often stranger than fiction. But from unexplained animal behavior to feats of engineering that seem to defy logic, our next stop takes us to a place that is both a testament to human creativity and a source of endless speculation. Coral Castle in Florida.
Coral Castle. Tell me more.
Now imagine this. A heartbroken man armed with little more than rudimentary tools spends decades single-handedly building a monument to lost love out of massive blocks of coral.
That's some serious dedication. But how is that even possible?
That's the question, isn't it? We're talking about a structure made up of over 1,100 tons of coral rock, some pieces weighing several tons each.
Several tons? That's insane. How did he even move those?
And here's the kicker. Edward Leedskalnin, the man who built Coral Castle, was a slight man standing only 5 feet tall and weighing just 100 pounds.
Wait a minute. You're telling me this tiny dude single-handedly moved tons of coral rock.
That's what they say.
There's got to be more to the story.
And that's precisely what makes coral castles so fascinating.
Okay, so what's the theory?
Lead Scalnan was notoriously secretive about his construction techniques, preferring to work alone at night, shrouding his methods in an air of secrecy that has fueled speculation for decades.
So we're talking ancient secrets, alien technology.
Well, Lead Scalnan himself hinted at having rediscovered the secrets of pyramid construction, mentioning things like harnessing the Earth's magnetic forces and utilizing a system of weights and balances to move the massive coral blocks.
So basically he was like, I know something you don't know.
Pretty much. But without any concrete evidence to support these claims, Coral Castle remains an enigma, a puzzle that continues to challenge our understanding of what's possible. It's like he took the phrase, love conquers all, to a whole other level, right?
Building a coral castle with his bare hands.
Allegedly.
It makes you wonder what's possible sometimes.
Right. And, as we've journeyed from these vanished islands to gravity-defying coral castles,
It's been quite the trip.
one thing's become abundantly clear.
What's that?
Reality has a knack for being a lot stranger than fiction.
Absolutely. Each of these places, in its own way, highlights the limits of our knowledge and the enduring human desire to make sense of the world around us, even when it means embracing the fantastical.
It's true, though, we're drawn to the unexplained because it challenges us to think beyond the ordinary, right?
Right? Like, to consider the possibility that there are forces at play that we may never fully comprehend.
It's like that itch you can't quite scratch, that lingering question.
That keeps you coming back for more.
Even when you know there might not be a satisfying answer.
We're hardwired for that, aren't we?
But I have to ask, what do you think connects all of these stories? What common thread ties together a phantom island, a cursed village, a bottomless pit, a dog-leaping bridge, and a castle made of coral?
That's a good question.
It's almost as if each one is a different flavor of weird.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think what connects them is that they all challenge our perception of what's real, what's possible, and what we think we know about the world.
It's like they're pushing the boundaries of our understanding.
Exactly. These mysteries, whether explained by science folklore or a blend of both, remind us that there are still blank spaces on the map of human understanding. They encourage us to embrace curiosity, to question assumptions, and to remain open to the possibility of the extraordinary.
It's like that feeling of looking up at the stars and realizing how much we still don't know about the universe.
Exactly.
Except in this case, the mysteries are happening right here on Earth, sometimes in our own backyards.
Which is kind of amazing when you think about it.
Right. And I think that's what I find so captivating about these stories. They remind us that the world is full of wonder and that there's always more to explore, more to learn, and more to discover, even in an age where we seem to have mapped and analyzed every inch of the planet.
It's a good reminder to stay curious.
Absolutely. So there you have it. Our whirlwind tour through some of the most enduring mysteries of the mapped and misplaced.
From phantom islands to bridges that seem to have a strange effect on dogs.
We've explored the edges of the map where reality itself seems to shimmer and shift.
Where logic takes a backseat to legend.
And where the only certainty is that there is always more to learn and discover.
So what are you going to explore next?
What stood out to you the most during our deep dive? What will you be researching further? Let us know.
And remember, those mysteries are just the beginning.
Keep that sense of wonder alive. Keep asking questions and keep exploring.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to finally solve one of these mysteries.
Until next time, happy exploring.